Hi guys, and welcome back to another video again with Powers. I'm Jake.
I'm Cierra.
And welcome back to another episode of Cierra Reacts. If this is your first time watching a video like this from us, it's basically Cierra is going to be reacting to different games that I have backed on Kickstarter and GameFound and kind of giving her thoughts. And while she's unboxing the game and all the components, I'm going to be talking about the game and like why I decided to back the game and a bunch of stuff like that. So today, we actually have another, like big heavy box right there coming to you guys. The box might look familiar. It's that classic Awaken Realms white box. This is going to be the Castles of Burgundy Special Edition. And essentially, this is kind of like a remaster of the Castles of Burgundy game. What do we got there? We got a nice little letter.
It says open here.
You want to open the letter?
Sure. Will you push that button down?
Yeah. Hold it down for a sec while Cierra opens the letter. Essentially, this is a remaster of the game. What's it say? Give us the quick synopsis of it.
It says, Dear backer, if you read this letter, you have just become the lucky owner of the special edition of Castles of Burgundy. And then it talks about the release, what it is. It's a collaboration between Awaken Realms and Ravensburger, and they want to hear our feedback.
All right. So, essentially, like I said, this is a remaster here, and I'll help Cierra get
I don't think I
stuff out. Holy crap, this box is massive.
Here's the other thing.
That's it? Just that box in the playmat? All right, well, make sure it's all lined up. All right, so this is essentially a remastered version of the Castles of Burgundy. This is just the basic pledge you're looking at here with the playmat that I added on.
That's basic?
Yeah, this is the basic. I mean, this is massive, but it holds everything. I'll flip it over on the back. I mean, this box is massive. I didn't think it would be this big. But you see on the back here, it's the classic Castles of Burgundy game, which is that dice rolling, drafting game where you're creating essentially your own city or area. And so it has the Awaken Realms spin on it. So you know Awaken Realms is going to bring you really nice components, really nice miniatures. All of that stuff. This is going to be the Sundrop version of the game here, so it's going to have that nice little Sundrop look.
Is this the same makers of
Lords of Ragnarok?
Oh.
So they collaborated with with the people that made Lords of Ragnarok to like make this remastered edition of the game. So essentially, this remastered edition here is going to feature, like, I believe all of the expansions of the game in one, as well as the brand new Vineyard expansions. You're looking at me like, what is that?
You owe me a glass of wine if I play this.
Yes.
Vineyard expansions with you.
Yes.
A bottle of wine.
Yes.
Up it.
So you can see the box here is just massive to hold all this stuff in there. But again, Castles of Burgundy is a nice classic game that has like I said, it's been redone a couple times. You have like a 2019 version. There's a dice version of the game. There's a card version of the game here. And let's just kind of open it up and start seeing what we got.
There's a book for the, like an actual book.
Really?
Kind of.
I'm sure it all.
I'm sure it's right here.
Interesting. So yeah, I mean, it looks pretty lengthy, but you gotta remember it has all the expansions in there. So it probably has just a section for the base game.
It's like nice cardstock.
Yeah.
Whatever, I guess it's cardstock.
That's kind of cool. All right, we got the rule book.
Here's a help sheet.
They got reference sheets. So that was the one thing a lot of people had said about the old version of the game, was there was no like iconography sheets to see on the little thing, because essentially what you're doing is like you're rolling dice and you're selecting these little tiles here to put in your castle area, but like the little tiles, like the cardboard punch outs, these tiles that you're selecting and putting in your area, they didn't have any like wording on them, so nobody knew what exactly they did. So there's two upgrades that they made. Is they put the wording on the back of these tiles so you can see, and it tells you like score victory points, take actions while using a white die. Ooh, I popped one out by accident. So you can see that, and as well as giving you each player a player aid. But again, this is just the base version of the game with the Sundrop miniatures. So you have the game board, right?
Yeah, I figured we'd go through this.
Yeah, we'll save the game board for later, but let's just take a look at the components here. These are just the basic tiles, all of your city tiles, I believe. Here are your like ship tiles. Here's some farm tiles with some donkeys on them. Wow,
definitely goats.
Oh, goats? Those
Not
are goats.
donkeys.
I'm sorry. Let's see what we got here. So those are livestock tiles. The green ones are the livestock tiles. You got the black ones. Here are the mine tiles. And we'll see. We'll actually flip it this way so you guys can see. So you got the livestock tiles. You got the mine tiles right here. The red ones are your castle tiles, but we have the castle miniatures in this box to use instead of those. The blue ones you saw earlier right here are your ship tiles. You have the monasteries, these are the monasteries are your yellow tiles, and then the building tiles are the beige.
What
so
are the white ones?
White ones, I don't see the white ones.
Maybe that's part. Oh, it's right there.
So those are the inns.
That's
for
part of the expansion.
That's part of an expansion. So the expansions that come in here are the additional hex tiles for a second expansion. It says additional hex tiles, the white castles. You have the inns, which is another expansion. You got shields tiles, which is the shield expansion. You have some more duchy boards or like player boards, which is the solo game expansion. You have the team game expansion. And then you have the trade routes expansion. And of course, we have the vineyards expansion as well. So like these are the shield expansion. That's the vineyard expansion. These, I don't know, what does that say? Worker tokens, those are worker tokens. Not sure what those are. We'll kind of figure it out. But this is a vineyard board, I believe. Yep, so, yeah, vineyard, these are all vineyard.
That one looks pretty.
Yep. Vineyard tiles. We got some more tiles here. Vineyard, and not quite sure what those are. Border posts, bonus tiles. That's what those are. That's what it says. Those look to be the trade route expansion. All right. So now we're moving on to, these are the player boards. So this is what the player board is going to look like. So it's not double-sided, but it's like a built-in layered, dual layered. That's what I was gonna say. So each player will have their own like area, like a duchy board is what they call it in the game. Your player board, you'll slot that in here, and then here's your worker slots, your tile slots, and then your character slot as well. So I mean, these are really nice and thick.
They're very thick.
Player boards here, but they look very nice.
Red, yellow, blue. Purple. I like those.
All right.
What color options?
Those are the generic, I believe these are the generic player boards. Like, I believe maybe, I don't know.
Oh, they fit together.
32B was something. Oh, okay. So these are the team expansions.
Okay.
So 31A, 31B, 32A, 32B are the team expansion boards. And then the other one is the solo game board. Yeah, so that's the solo board right there if you're playing in solo mode. All right. What else we got next? Moving through this stuff, there's a lot of components in here. I don't know what that is. That's a blank board. I don't see anything. Maybe it might 35. You say 35, 36. I don't see anything for 35, 36.
We'll have to learn what this is.
Yep. We'll learn what that is. Maybe it might be for the solo mode.
There's a one.
Oh yeah, maybe it's like an autonomous player, I guess. Who you're playing against, or it might just be for the solo.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So those are all a lot of the basic components in the game, the boards, the tokens, and things like that. So now we'll move into the meat of really what we've got in the game.
You don't want to see this board?
I thought we'd do that last.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like we did last time, that way we can spread it out. Okay, so now let's move into the meat of what is the cool upgrades and all the other components here of the game. And let's just kind of see. We got a lot of trays here.
I like that, some organizational.
Yeah. You want to just start pulling, we'll pull this out.
Do that.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm gonna mess things up in this. It's gonna probably have a very specific way that it has to be put up.
Let me move this out the way. Let me move this over here, and we'll just start by
terrible sound.
Yeah. Okay. So we have these little markers over here. These are gonna be the turn order markers. All right. They're gonna be in Sundrop. Let me dump them out here, and we'll go ahead and I'll move them to the screen over here and kind of show 2 at a time, and then let Cierra see them. So we got some nice little. So these are your turn order markers. Again, this is all Sundrop. This is the Sundrop version. So these look pretty cool instead of the generic. There we go. There we go. Okay. So there's red and yellow as well. All right. So those are the turn order markers that we have there. Those are just plastic.
You should put them back where they go.
Yeah, I should.
As you go.
Yeah. If you want to start pulling stuff out too. What is that? Those are the dice. So upgraded dice. They have kind of a Renaissance feel.
Look.
To the dice. Yeah, look. Renaissance look to the dice.
Decor on them.
Yeah. So here's what all of them kind of look like, and then I'll just pick. I'll pick 2 from that if you want to put them back. So the pips of the dice here look pretty cool. Have that Renaissance look to them. All right.
How many times do you want to say?
I don't know. I'm just talking. I'm talking. All right. We got some cloth bags here. Just a generic cloth bag. We got the metal coins. We got some acrylic tiles.
Those feel nice.
Yeah. Show them off. Show them off. Wow. Those feel like real, like, give you an up close look at some of these metal coin tiles here. That's what they look like. That's what they look like. All right. Those are your metal coin tiles. We got some acrylic trade good tiles. All right. So these are trade good tiles. These are acrylic. I'm not going to get all of them out, but I'll let you take 2 of them while I show some of these off. But here they are. Some trade good tiles, wooden. These are wooden. They have a really cool feel to them. You guys can see here. Nice wooden trade tiles. So I believe this is what, I don't know if this is part of the expansion. I think this has to do with the game. Yeah. Colors are pretty good. This one has like a ring on it. You see the ring with a dice number. All right. So we got that. We got some pouches.
These are interesting feeling.
Yeah. Wow. They're like leather.
Yeah.
We got some nice leather pouches here.
Smell.
Oh, interesting.
They don't smell good, that's for sure. Don't smell them.
All right, if she passes out, we'll know. All right, so that's everything in this kind of little section of the box. And then what else? I'll just keep pulling stuff out. We have another section to store stuff. You can kind of just.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. All right, well that's that. And then we pretty much just have the big, I think the big section of the box. Nope, we got 2 more sections. Oh man, this is the heavy one. Wow, that's really heavy. Okay. So we have this bad boy right here. So this is going to be your duchy, your player boards, your duchy boards, and each board is gonna have like a little hex thing inside it. This is added to the game as well, so your tiles don't move around.
So does that go on the like player board?
Yeah. So it'll look something like. Let me grab these out. So while Cierra works on that, I'll get out some of these castle tiles. So these are the Sundrop castles here. And I'll show them on the camera, and then the Sundrop players.
Look at how many different versions there are.
Yeah, so it has a lot of the expansions. I think there's like 58 different ones, I think they said.
Wow.
So while she puts that together, I'll show off some of these castles. So it looks like there's 4 different versions of each castle that you can have. So here's one version of a Sundrop castle there. All right. That's a longer, like a cistern-looking castle. You got another version of a castle here. You got this one. Wants to give it to me. That version right there. And then maybe what goes in there? I don't know. And then we got like a shorter castle here. Come on. There we go. And a shorter one. So from my understanding here is that the logic behind making the castles just different shapes and sizes is that a lot of people complain. So Cierra, awesome job here. So a lot of people complain about like if you had a big castle, like let's say I took one of these and put it in there like that, it would obstruct the things behind it. So they kind of made these different shapes and sizes of the castle. So like this one's obviously a smaller one, so there's not going to be a lot of obstruction there. So that's kind of why they have these different shapes and sizes. But Cierra put together what it would look like. So you have your board and you have this little cube or little square tile to put on there so your tiles don't kind of move around and you don't, because you know somebody's prone to knock their little board and the tiles all shift and they forget. So that's a cool little add-on right there. If you want to take a look at some of these castles, I'm going to show off these player markers. So these are going to be the player figures that you'll have in the.
These are interesting looking people.
So you got the blue person. There we go. Blue person. All right. There. Red person. All right. Yellow. There. All right. And purple. This guy looks like a guy you see at the crystal ball in the crystal ball machine. All right. So that is the purple guy. Yeah. That is the purple guy. All right, so this is this box, which is gonna have all of your Sundrop miniatures. Did you get a chance to look at the castles?
Mm-hmm. Yep, they look very nice, very detailed.
All right. We'll put that on top of that. All right, and then we got one last box here. One last box of stuff. Ooh. This is gonna be the vineyard stuff. The vineyard expansion, and this is the last little box in here. So we have the vineyard board, the vineyard dual-layer boards for each of the players, and then we have
quadruple layered.
Yeah, and then we have nice little packaging here. Yep. So each of the nice boards to add on to your little thing. We have a nice sun-dropped.
Oh, that's cool.
Vineyard, so you'll put the little tiles in there, and each of them will be a different dice. So loving the design there.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool. Show you guys the.
Yeah, scoot it back.
I know the Sundrop version here of the front and the back of the Vineyard expansion. So that's definitely cool. We got another bag. Bags on bags on bags, and then we have some cards. So I don't know what the cards are going to be used for. Let me see if I can see here what the cards are used for. That might probably be the solo mode is what the cards might be for, or they could be for the expansion. But all right, well look, that is everything in the Castles of Burgundy special edition. Again, this is just a basic edition with, well, I guess it's the full edition because the only other pledges that they had available were to get all the extras. So you could have made like all of the little tiles, the cardboard tiles, they could have been acrylics. But they said those acrylics wouldn't have fit in this box. So that's why I chose not to get it. Really, you had the option of either doing the pledge without the Sundrop castles, or you had the option of doing it with the miniatures or without the miniatures, and then you had the option of doing with the Sundrop or without the Sundrop, and then you could just add on extra stuff. So like you'd have those acrylic tiles, they had 3D sculpts of like all of the tiles with like the sheeps and the horses and all that stuff. So those were the other additions that you could have got. But this is the special edition of Castles of Burgundy. The last thing we got here is we're gonna show off the playmat and the game board itself. So while Cierra's getting the game board out,
two-sided,
double-sided game board there. You guys should be able to see most of that.
Things in the way.
Yeah, we got some stuff in the way here. We'll have to kind of move out of the way. Hopefully you guys can see. Let me check. Oh yeah, they can see that. Yep, so this is the game board. A lot smaller game board than what I thought for as big as as much stuff as the game. You said this was double-sided?
Yeah.
Yeah, so double-sided. I'm sure one side's like a solo mode or one side's like another player mode.
This is
two-player mode, yeah, on this side. And then I'm sure this is like the rest of the standard mode. All right. And then the last thing we have is the playmat. So let's take a look at the playmat here.
also double-sided.
Also double-sided, yep. So that, I'm assuming, I don't see, oh, yep, 2 players. So this would be the 2-player side of the playmat. And then this is the other side. I like the nice double-sided, or nice stitched playmat, but I like the visual here. It kind of has like a shine to it. If that makes sense. Let me scoot it up in case you guys can't see it. But it kind of has like a cool little shine, but I got the playmat for that. And that's pretty much it. All right, well, look, guys, look, that is everything in the, let me get the box here, in the Castles of Burgundy special edition. This actually wasn't that bad for the price. I believe it was only like 90 to 100 for this whole thing, which typically when you're dealing with a lot of stuff like this, that's not bad. It's usually going to be a lot higher. But again, I thought Castles of Burgundy has been on my list for a while. I kind of think you would like this game just because it's got the dice and it's got an old school type feel. I don't know. You know, I'm kind of hesitant about that. But it's just a classic game with things like that. You know, it looks like a lot, but we'll have to see once we actually get it out and onto the table. But what are your thoughts? What are you thinking? First impressions?
I think the components are really, really nice. Like
yeah.
High grade components for sure. I think it's a lot to it, and
yeah.
I'm not always the big fan of those big games, long games.
Yeah.
It's giving me a little bit of a Carcassonne feel, which I love Carcassonne.
Yeah.
So I'll definitely give it a chance and see how it is. I know I've seen Castles of Burgundy and heard of it.
Yeah.
So it's got like a good following. If they keep like coming out with new additions, new expansions, it's probably
sure.
a pretty good game. And I definitely
Yeah.
want to try the Vineyard expansion.
Yeah.
Oh, you owe me a bottle of wine.
I do. Well, I'll get a bottle of wine and we'll bust out a bottle of wine and play this one night. Yeah, I mean, this has a big following. I think this campaign raised like $3 million. Funded $3 million for this.
I mean,
but
it looks really nice.
yeah, yeah. And Awaken Realms always has great components. But all right, guys, look. Well, you got anything else for me? All right. Well, look, you seen it here first. Castles of Burgundy. I know there's a lot of videos circulating around on this, but this is kind of our thoughts and our experience to it. We'll definitely have to make some time. I'm gonna get her a bottle of wine, and we'll bust it out. We'll get some Renaissance type music to it, and definitely try this game out. But all right, guys, as always, go ahead and drop a like for this video. Please help us out. Drop a comment. Did you back Castles of Burgundy? Are you excited to play this new edition? Have you seen this new edition? And then, as always, if you are not subscribed, please go and subscribe to our channel so we can keep bringing you more awesome content. All right, guys, y'all have a great one. Bye.
Bye.